I think we have a walk-up item 6B. You don't know about that, Diana.
I was waiting.
Okay.
Where's your Rocky shirt?
Good morning, President. Very good morning, President Pro Tem, Board of County Commissioners. Craig Dossey, I'm the Director of Planning and Community Development for the county. I think today is a great day, beautiful weather. We've got great baseball going on right now, but we'll get to that.
It looks like perhaps your team is out of it, though, so, maybe they...
I apologize for my wardrobe today. We will cover that later in my presentation. I just wanted to update you all, as well as those listening out in the real world, that the El Paso County Water Master Plan is still moving forward. As a matter of fact, I've received a draft of that and am in the process of reviewing that. Our first kind of face-to-face opportunity for the public to interact with that process is going to occur on Thursday, October 25th. That open house is going to be held at the Regional Development Center, which is where our office is located. It's going to occur from 6 to 8 at night. We're going to have members of our steering committee, as well as staff members and members of the consulting team there to discuss the Water Master Plan, kind of the overall process, and address issues or address certain sections of the plan, such as understanding water supplies. One of the misconceptions, I think, a lot of times is the difference between city and county, the difference between development in the city and development in the county. A lot of the development in the county is on groundwater. A lot of the new growth in the city is on surface water. Talk about native renewable water versus imported renewable water. These are all kind of facets of water supply, but they really make up how we plan for growth in the county and consequently also in the city. We're going to look at sub-regional versus county-wide water-based topics. We've been able to identify 8 sub-areas within the county that are really directed at where water gets provided and those providers that provide that water, more of a geographical reference there. Projecting water supply needs. We took a snapshot of what the current needs are to support what's already on the ground, and then we're trying to look into the future in the 2040 and 2060 windows to see what are the demands going to be in the region. And we are looking at this as a regional issue. Water supply is not unique to the city, and it's not unique to the county. It's something that we're going to have to deal with countywide. The last 2 items, closing the gap. The state of Colorado has identified a gap in water supply moving forward in those 2 timelines, 2040 and 2060. I think there's already plans in place to address part of that gap, but what our plan does is it starts to recommend maybe how we start closing that gap as a region and what that looks like from a land use scenario. And then lastly, implementation. No comprehensive planning document is worth its weight at all unless it includes recommendations for implementation. What are we going to do now that we know where we stand today? So I would encourage anybody who has an interest in water or even growth in the county to attend that open house. Again, that is on October 25th, which is a Thursday, over at the Regional Development Center. So that was the first of my public service announcements today. Any questions? Sorry.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Could you just send us a reminder email? I'd like to put this in my article, my weekly article that I put in the newspaper.
I will gladly do that. Thank you. This is the first of my public service announcements today. Again, I apologize for my wardrobe. Those of you that have been around for more than a year, remember that I have lost a certain wager to a certain commissioner now 2 years in a row, although today, for some reason, it doesn't feel like I've lost. And I think we'll get to that in a little bit more detail.
In a little bit more detail.
But I was kind of accused of trying to get out of that wager last year. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware that I am supporting the Chicago Cubs today. Having said that, I think it's very important to recognize that we are in the middle of a very special season, and that season is Rocktober.
It's football season.
I wasn't aware that they were playing football right now. I think
I guess being a Broncos fan, I'd understand that.
Aaron Rodgers asked me to be here today. I just want to point out that the Rockies are going to start their 5-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers today. A game starts at 3 o'clock. I put a kind of an advertisement there that we're now accepting new fans. If any of you have a team perhaps that's no longer in the playoffs and you would like to support the Colorado Rockies, I do have some paraphernalia here that you're more than welcome to support.
Oh, send it on up here.
And I think it's important to understand how we got to this point. If I recall, the Milwaukee Brewers, I think, won a play-in game. I can't remember the team that they beat, but I think that game was at Wrigley Field, if I'm not mistaken. And then the game Tuesday, somebody told me there was a game Tuesday where the Rockies won. I think that was also at Wrigley Field, if I'm not mistaken. But if there are any fans who have lost their team, at least for the time being,
I'm all in.
that would like to wear
I'm
this.
all in. I'm all in. Absolutely. Put it here for now. Brett Hopp, he hasn't played for the Rockies for 100 years.
Hey, just tell people that you're hopped up on Rocktober.
There we go.
It was on.
Yeah.
Again, public service announcement, root for the Rockies. I'm very saddened today that the Cubs are no longer in it.
Did he play for the Did Hopp play for the Rockies in 2007 when they had lost in 4 to the Red Sox in the series?
Again, my memory's pretty shady going backwards.
I'd think so.
I can't remember what happened this week, but anyway, I
Are you
appreciate
done?
you all giving me some time here. And go Rockies. Any questions on any of that? Please ask me questions.
I'd just say go Rockies.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. That's the words. Oh, merciful.